Hello guys, this is Reggie Gamer 06. How's everyone doing today? Today is another book review, but before I begin my today's review, follow me on Twitter, link down in the description box, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new. Uh, if you guys are new to this channel, like maybe this is your first time you've seen me, very briefly, I do reviews on books, video games, movies, just a bunch of stuff that we nerds love, basically. Uh, so yes, without further ado, let's get on with this review. And yes, I finally finished the fourth and final book of the Neverwinter Saga, the last, the last threshold. And as you can see, this is the Legend of Drizzt, part 26. Right here. Love the cover. You got Drizzt fighting. Well, these are called. I didn't know this, but these are actually enemies. These are called Skull Lords. They control like ghouls and witch and the Shadowfell. It's like a different plane, a different dementia, whatever. But yeah, cool cover. Of course, written by R.A. Salvatore himself. Dungeons and Dragons, Forgotten Realms. Here's the spine. And the back. It says, I know now the truth in my heart. I am Drizzt Do'Urden, once lost in foggy days of uncertainty, at last headed toward the starry night of destiny, where before I walked with hesitancy, now I know each footstep takes me closer toward the legacy of my past. I am Ephron the Twisted, apprentice warlock, crippled, tiefling son. My taste for vengeance puts me at odds with my master Draco Quick and every ally I've known, and yet I cannot turn away. Dahlia Sanfele shall pay for what she's done, and no one, least of all her dark elf companion, shall stand in my way. I am the last threshold, brink of dusk, harbinger of dawn. Drizzt Do'Urden and his companions may soon know my cool embrace. New York Times best-selling author R.A. Salvatore pulls out all the stops in this shocking conclusion to the series related to the much anticipated award-winning game Neverwinter. Masterfully written, thrillingly unpredictable, and everything a Drizzt Do'Urden fan could hope for. You'll be hanging on the words till the very end, and then begging for more. GamesFiends.com. That's very true. Uh, Now, I didn't mention my other book review. Right here is the inside of the book. And this right here is the next book in the series. The Sundering, Book 1, The Companions. This will be book 27. But as I was saying, in other book reviews or most fantasy books, usually there's a map, but this one has uh, no map whatsoever. But it's okay. Get the prologue, 29 chapters, including the epilogue. So, what a fantastic book! Uh, I love this book. Even the first three books, great read. A lot of tense moments, uh, emotional moments, which I will get to that. So yeah, like I said, this is the fourth and final book of the Neverwinter Saga. It came out March 5th, 2013. Of course, you have your main characters. Drizzt, Dahlia, and now Artemis. Supporting characters. Now, some of these names I cannot pronounce, so forgive me. Uh, your supporting characters, you've got Oh Lord, he's a monk. Now he was in the previous book. Uh, Alpha Frenfrey and Burgess. She's a dwarf. She's a cleric. You got Drago Quick. He's the Netherrace Lord. Ephron, Tiefling, and Dahlia's son. Yes. Now this will be has some spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, do not watch this video until after you read this book. Then you got Paris or Paris Oathbinder. He's also a lord in the Shadowfell. And you got Tiago Bonre. He's a drow warrior. Jarlaxle, yes. Jarlaxle makes a return. He is not dead. We all thought he died in the first book, Galtogram, which I knew he's still alive, because he's on the cover in the future book, so I knew he was still alive. And then you have Camaro of Ladra. He's the leader of Brigand the Earthy. Uh, then, and also you got uh, Thiebledorf Went. He's a Battle Ranger dwarf. If you remember in the first book, I don't know if I mentioned this. In the first book, Galtogram, Thiebledorf, again, he's a dwarf, the Battle Ranger of the spiked armor. He gets bit, and I forgot about this. He gets bit by the vampire Dorcray. And of course, we thought he died, but in this book, he comes back to life as a vampire, and it's kind of disappointing because he wasn't, he didn't have a huge role. And another character, he's a Baylor, a demon named Urtu. Now, if you guys read the previous books, you know Urtu is a demon from another dimension. He hates Drizzt. Again, just like Thiebledorf went, he had a small role in this. So I don't know why. I felt like they kind of wasted his character. I don't know. But it was good to see him in, don't get me wrong. So the story goes, this is after Book 3, Karen's Claw. Karen Claw, the sword that put Artemis, the assassin, made him a slave. So the sword is destroyed, and Artemis surprisingly is still alive. So now he joins with Drizzt and Dahlia. They settle down in Neverwinter along with the Door and Burgess and the monk. Again, Alfrenfrey. I know that's not how you pronounce his name. Good characters. I think they were a part of the Cavis Dun. There's like a group from Shadowfell. So anyway, so these companions, they settle down in Neverwinter, right? Kind of take a break. And Guinevere, which was taken from Drizzt. Now again, this has some spoilers. Because the thing is, I think this happened in book 3. Every time Drizzt summons Guinevere, she looks tired and haggard. So he knows that something is up. And Drago Quick has her in prison in a little cage. And so Drizzt and his friends decide to go to Shadowfell to rescue his panther. And this is where it gets really good, in my opinion. Because during this, so before this, Ephron, Dahlia's son, who we thought dead, who is now a warlock, he finally caught up to Dahlia, his mom, and he wanted his revenge for what he did to her, for what she did to him, excuse me. And so he finally captures her, but the thing is, he didn't kill her right away. He kind of tortures her, but at some point they start bonding. She starts talking to him, saying, "Hey, look, I'm sorry what I did, but you gotta understand. I was raped. My people were killed by your father, Herzko, Alegni." And so they just start talking and they start bonding, because once again they were mother and son, and it really hit me. I was so happy that Salvatore was able to bring these two characters together, because I really thought, you know, Ephron was going to die, like maybe Dahlia was going to like end his misery, but instead they bonded. So now Ephron is part of the team, and it was just so, I was so happy. It was so good. It's very emotional for me. It was very, very good. I liked that part. And so, yeah, it was a good, I felt like it was a good closure to the two characters. So, anyway, later on in the Shadowfell, George and his and his friends, they find Drago's castle thanks to Ephron, because Ephron knows him. So they assault the castle, you know, and however, Dorit and Ephron fell into a trap while Dahlia and Artemis and the rest fights Medusa and Gargoyle. You got this big battle going on, and of course they all get turned to stone except for Embrace, the door. She gets away. She's like, "Forget this. We're losing. We lost. I'm out of here." And so she's trying to start her life, brand new. And I was kind of disappointed because I felt like she went lazy. I'm like, why would you do that? Leave your friend behind. But then she gets hunted down by these dark elves, Tiago and Ravel. But then Jarlaxle, who we thought died, is still alive. So he comes and saves her. Like, hey, let's work together. Let's find Dritz together. So they form a bond. They go back. They rescue Dritz. Uh, they finally escape from Drago. Dritz gets his panther back. Everyone's happy. And then the last part, I forgot to tell you, in the first three books, okay, if you guys read the other books, okay, like, the Dark Elf trilogy, the Icewind Dale trilogy, you know how Salvatore splits his books into parts, like 3 parts, and maybe 4 parts. Well, the first 3 books in the series, it's only 2 parts. However, in this final book, he split it to 4 parts. So yeah. So the final part, they all go back to Icewind Dale uh, to maybe finally settle down. Uh, but the thing is, this is forest called Erldune. It's spelled Iruladoon. Because it's like I want to say it's like a sanctuary for those who died. Uh, as you know, Regis, the halfling, the crimshaw, the fish, he likes to fish for crimshaw and use their bones, and he carves their bones into the likeness of his friends. Well, Dritz found a crimshaw shape of a female archer who was Cadbury. So now Dritz is thinking, wait a minute, have they been here? Are they around? And so they found this portion of this forest where it makes them sleepy. And little did they know that they were asleep for 18 years. Yes, they had been gone for 18 years. So during that time, Tiago and his drow band are looking for Dritz. So they come across the town of 10 towns, right? And so Urtu, the Baylor demon, is looking for Dritz. So he attacks Tiago, mistaking him for Dritz. But Tiago and his band wins. So now these townspeople favor Tiago instead of Dritz. Because, Dritz is a legend in Icewind Dale. So, but now, because of the victory, because, Dritz, keep in mind, Dritz and his friends have been gone for 18 years. So they thought he just forgot. So now everyone likes Diego. So 18 years later, it's now 1484 DR. Uh, and everyone is mad at Dritz because they thought Dritz abandoned them, which he didn't. So now 10 towns are not welcome anymore. And so they travel further, and then at some point, Dritz decides to stay in Icewind Dale, which of course upsets Dahlia because Dahlia and Artemis and the others want to move forward. They want to travel. I think they want to go back to Battlehammer Clan, but Dritz decides to stay in Icewind Dale. So Dahlia gets mad. They fight. Dritz gets injured, like on the brink of death. Uh, and so Artemis stops Dahlia from harming Dritz any further. Because Dritz, at this point, he's got a broken leg. His head's bleeding. He's about to die. And he passes out. But then when Artemis and Dahlia and the other two characters, when they come back where they left Dritz is gone. They don't know where he's at. So now here's Dritz. He wakes up and he's on top of Kelvin's Cairn. He didn't know how he got there, but Guinevere's there, or Guinevere is there. He's like, am I dead? And then he sees his friend Cadbury beside him. So I think Dritz has finally passed on. Now, of course, we all know this is the final book. I know Dritz at some point will come back because there's more books to read. This is only book 26. As of right now, there are 37 books right now. So, I feel like the ending for this book, I feel like this should have been the end of Dritz. Now, I'm not saying he deserves, all the adventures he's been through, I think he deserves peace, And that's the way I look at it. I know some of you guys don't like it when a main character dies. Now, when I was younger, that used to bother me a lot. I hate it when my favorite character dies. But now I'm older, I get a better understanding that when a hero dies, it means they earned that rest. They did their part. Now it's time for them to rest. So I felt like this ending is a perfect ending for the whole series. Why keep fighting? Why bring Dritz back? But of course, Salvatore does anyway. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the next book. I love this book, guys. Like I said, in all honestly, I think I like this book better than Hunter's Blade trilogy, the Transition trilogy. I don't know. It's a very good book. I enjoyed it. If you never read the Neverwinter Saga book, you owe it to yourself. Read the series. It's 4 books long. I promise you, you will love the series. It's better. I love it. There was, how you say it, some misspelled words, but it was buried there, or some word was missing that it should have been in that sentence, but it's not a big deal. It was rarely. So, I enjoyed this book. I cannot wait to read the next book, which is the Companions. So, yeah, great book. In all honesty, I have no cons, surprisingly. I loved it. Every page I read, every chapter I read, I just wanted to read some more, it was that good. So read it if you haven't already. I promise you, you won't regret it. It's a great book. So anyway, guys, that is it for my today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. I got more videos coming up. Hopefully, I'll do some more playthroughs. Again, I'm still waiting on a mic from a friend of mine. So yeah, once again, this is the Ranger Gamer 06 Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Uh, Drop a like for me. Follow me on Twitter. Link down in the description box. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.